my beloved child, before you continue, before distraction pulls your attention away, before your thoughts convince you this is just another ordinary message, stay here with me for a little longer. Do not scroll away. The next few minutes will explain everything. You are not listening to these words by accident. You were guided here deliberately, carefully, lovingly. Long before this moment arrived, I already knew the exact second your weary heart would need to hear this message. I saw the heaviness you have been carrying. I saw the silent battles inside your mind that nobody else fully understands. I saw the nights when exhaustion wrapped around your spirit so tightly that even sleep could not bring peace. And still, you kept going. My child, many around you see your smile, but they do not see the hidden weight behind it. They do not hear the conversations you have inside your mind late at night. They do not know how many times you questioned your worth, your future, or whether your life was truly moving anywhere at all. But I know, I have always known. I was there during every silent breakdown, every moment you felt abandoned, every time disappointment crushed your expectations, every time you whispered, "God, are you even listening?" Yes, my beloved, I heard every word, even the prayers you could not speak aloud. You thought your pain was destroying you, but what you could not see was this. The pain you thought was destroying you was actually positioning you. There were things I needed to remove before I could bring you into the next season of your life. Some doors had to close because they were leading you toward deeper sorrow. Some people had to leave because they could not follow where I am taking you. Some delays had to happen because your spirit was still being strengthened for what is coming next. You called it rejection, but heaven called it protection. You called it delay, but I called it preparation. And now, my child, the pieces are beginning to move. Quietly, slowly, deeply beneath the surface of your life. Things are already changing. You may not fully see it yet, but your season is shifting. That heaviness you have felt recently, it is not random. The discomfort within your spirit is not meaningless. Something inside you has started awakening. The version of you that survived the pain cannot remain the same forever. I am leading you out of the old season and into a new beginning. Your heart has prayed for many times without even realizing it. Listen closely now. This next part matters deeply. For a long time, you believed you were falling behind in life. You watched others move forward while you remained stuck in uncertainty. You questioned why certain prayers seemed unanswered. You wondered why opportunities disappeared just when you needed them most. Sometimes you even blamed yourself. Sometimes you secretly believed maybe you were not worthy enough to receive the life you hoped for. But my beloved child, you have misunderstood your waiting season. You thought nothing was happening. Yet, during every painful moment, I was building something within you that could not be created any other way. I was teaching you endurance. I was teaching you discernment. I was teaching you how to survive storms that would have destroyed the weaker version of yourself. You did not notice it at first, but every difficult season changed you. Every betrayal sharpened your wisdom. Every lonely night deepened your compassion. Every disappointment pushed you closer to me, even when you thought you were drifting away. Nothing was wasted. Not your tears, not your heartbreak, not your confusion. Not even the moments when you almost gave up. I used all of it. Even now, you still underestimate how strong you have become. The person you are today carries a resilience that did not exist before those dark seasons. You survived things that once would have broken you completely. And although you still feel tired sometimes, there is a quiet strength inside you that continues standing no matter how many times life tried to knock you down. That strength came from me. My beloved, I need you to understand something tonight. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are certainly not abandoned. This moment was arranged intentionally because your spirit is finally ready to hear what comes next. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Hold on to those words carefully, not because they sound comforting, but because they are true. My plans for your life did not disappear because of your mistakes. Your failures did not cancel your purpose. The pain you experienced did not destroy the future I prepared for you. If anything, those painful seasons were quietly guiding you toward it. You still think your story is falling apart, but heaven sees your story coming together. There is a reason your spirit would not let you give up completely. There is a reason something inside you kept searching for hope even after disappointment. There is a reason you are still here listening to this message right now. Because your journey is not over. In fact, my child, it is only beginning. Do not ignore what your spirit is feeling right now. That pull inside your chest, that emotion you cannot fully explain, that sudden sense that these words were meant specifically for you. That is not coincidence. That is my presence reaching toward you. I know how exhausted you have become from pretending to be okay. I know how many times you carried burdens in silence because you believed nobody would understand. You became so used to surviving that you forgot what peace even feels like. But I did not create you merely to survive. I created you to live, to breathe again, to hope again, to feel joy again. And slowly, gently, I am leading you back toward that life. But first, I need you to stop looking at your pain as proof that I abandoned you. Your pain was never proof of abandonment. It was proof that transformation was happening underneath the surface. Seeds break open before they grow. And you, my child, have been in a season of breaking. Not because I wanted to destroy you, but because something greater needed to emerge from within you. The old version of you could not carry the calling ahead. The fearful version, the insecure version, the version that depended on people more than me. That version had to be shaken, and yes, it hurt, but your future required it. Soon you will begin noticing small signs that your season is changing. Certain conversations will happen unexpectedly. Doors you thought were closed will quietly begin opening. New peace will enter your spirit without explanation. Clarity will replace confusion. Strength will rise within you again. And when it happens, you will realize something powerful. I was guiding you the entire time. Even through the silence, even through the heartbreak, even through the waiting, my beloved child, stay with me. Do not let fear pull you backward now. The next part of your journey will reveal why certain battles became so intense recently, and why the enemy fought so hard to keep you trapped in discouragement, because something valuable is inside you. Something heaven placed within you long ago, and soon you will finally begin to see it too. My beloved child, come closer and listen carefully now, because there is something your wounded heart still struggles to believe. You thought your suffering went unseen. You thought your silent tears disappeared into empty nights. You thought nobody noticed how hard you fought just to make it through certain days. But I saw all of it, every single moment. I saw the nights when the room became quiet and your thoughts became loud. I saw you lying awake, replaying painful memories in your mind, wondering why certain wounds still hurt so deeply. I saw the exhaustion behind your smile when you told others you were fine, even though your spirit felt completely drained. I saw the hidden disappointment you carried after prayers seemed unanswered. I saw the trembling anxiety you tried to hide from everyone around you. And my beloved, I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone else could notice them. You believed you had to stay strong for everybody else. You trained yourself to suffer quietly. You learned how to smile while your heart quietly broke inside. Even now, some people around you have no idea how much pain you have actually survived. But I know, I remember every detail. The nights you cried in silence. The mornings you woke up already emotionally tired. The moments when fear wrapped around your chest and made breathing feel heavy. The times you stared into darkness, wondering if your life would ever truly change. I was there, closer than you realized. My child, there were moments when your spirit whispered, "I cannot do this anymore." And even then, I stayed beside you, even when you felt abandoned, even when you doubted my presence, even when disappointment convinced you that heaven had forgotten your name. I never left, not once. You may not have felt me during those painful nights because sorrow can make everything seem distant. Pain has a way of clouding your vision. Fear has a way of convincing you that you are alone. But you were never alone, not for a single second. When your heart shattered quietly behind closed doors, I was holding the broken pieces. When anxiety overwhelmed your thoughts, I was protecting your mind from battles you could not even see. When loneliness consumed you, my presence remained beside you, even though your pain prevented you from sensing it fully. Listen closely now, because this next truth matters deeply. Your tears were being collected, not ignored. Every cry carried meaning. Every sorrow left an imprint upon heaven. Every hidden wound mattered to me far more than you understand. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. Psalm 56, verse 8. My beloved child, those words are not symbolic to me. They are personal. I truly saw your tears. Not casually, not distantly, but intimately, lovingly, carefully. There were tears you cried because of betrayal. Tears caused by disappointment. Tears born from exhaustion. Tears from feeling misunderstood. Tears from carrying burdens nobody else helped you carry. And there were even tears you could not explain yourself. The kind that appeared when your spirit became too overwhelmed to hold everything inside any longer. I counted them all. Not one was wasted. Not one fell without purpose. Even now, you still underestimate how much those hidden seasons changed you. You believed those lonely nights were empty suffering, but something sacred was happening underneath the surface of your pain. What happened in secret changed your future. While you thought you were breaking apart, I was quietly reshaping your spirit. While you believed nothing was changing, your inner self was becoming stronger, wiser, deeper, and more prepared for the season approaching you now. You could not see it then, but the hidden suffering produced hidden strength. The nights you survived alone built endurance within you. The disappointments taught you discernment. The heartbreak softened your heart toward others who suffer, and the silence pushed you closer to me in ways comfort never could. There are things I can only build inside a soul during hidden seasons. That is why some of your greatest transformations happened when nobody else was watching. Not on the mountaintop, but in the quiet, in the loneliness, in the moments where you and I were the only ones who knew how much pain you carried. My beloved, I know there were nights when fear whispered terrible lies into your mind. Fear told you nothing would ever change. Fear told you your best days were behind you. Fear told you you were too damaged, too exhausted, too forgotten to ever recover fully. But those voices never spoke truth over your life. Because even while you were crying, I was still writing your future. Even while you were doubting yourself, I was still preparing restoration. Even while your heart was wounded, I was still protecting your destiny. Do not misunderstand your survival. You made it through certain seasons because I carried you when your strength disappeared. There were moments you should have collapsed emotionally. Moments where the pressure became far greater than what you thought you could handle. Yet somehow you kept moving forward. That was not accidental. That was my hand sustaining you. My beloved child, I need you to stop condemning yourself for feeling weak sometimes. Stop believing your tears were signs of failure. Stop thinking your emotional exhaustion disappointed me. Your tears never pushed me away. They drew me closer. Because broken hearts speak honestly before me. Pain strips away pretending. In those lonely nights when you cried openly, your spirit became more real than it had ever been before. And I was listening carefully to every word. Even now, there are wounds inside you that still ache quietly. Some disappointments have not fully healed. Certain memories still return unexpectedly. Some betrayals still confuse your heart. I know, and I am still healing places inside you that nobody else can reach. But there is something you still do not know. Those painful nights created a version of you capable of carrying the blessing that is coming next. If your spirit had not been stretched through suffering, you would not be prepared for where I am taking you now. The future I planned for you requires deeper strength, deeper wisdom, deeper trust. And although the process wounded you at times, it also prepared you. You are not the same person you were before those tears. Something inside you matured through the pain. Something awakened. You now notice things you once ignored. You discern people differently. You understand loneliness differently. You carry compassion that did not exist before. You became softer in some ways, stronger in others. That transformation matters. Nothing was meaningless, not the waiting, not the heartbreak, not the silence, not the tears. I used every hidden moment to shape your future. And soon, my child, very soon, you will begin to understand why heaven allowed certain things to happen the way they did. The answers are coming closer now. The clarity you prayed for is approaching, and the same God who saw every hidden tear is about to reveal why your story could never end in destruction. My beloved child, there is a truth you have struggled to understand for a very long time. You thought heaven was delaying your life. You thought I was withholding good things from you. You watched doors close, opportunities disappear, relationships collapse, and prayers remain unanswered, and slowly your heart began asking dangerous questions. Why is this happening to me? Why does everyone else seem to move forward while I remain stuck? Did God forget me? But listen carefully now, because the answer will change the way you see your entire journey. What felt like rejection was often my protection. What felt like delay was often my mercy. And what looked like silence was actually me guarding your future from things that would have destroyed you before you were ready. My child, there are things you cried for that would have wounded you deeply if I had released them too soon. There were people you begged to keep in your life who secretly carried the power to break your peace. There were opportunities you thought you needed that would have drained your spirit completely. You only saw the desire, but I saw the outcome. You only saw the open door, but I saw the hidden danger behind it. And because I love you too deeply to allow certain things to destroy you, I stepped in quietly, even when you misunderstood my actions. There were moments you thought I ignored your prayers, when in reality I was saving you from future pain you could not yet see. If I had given it to you earlier, it would have broken you. You were asking for things your spirit was not yet strong enough to carry. You wanted answers before your wisdom matured. You wanted blessings before your character was prepared. You wanted restoration while parts of your heart were still too wounded to protect what I planned to place into your hands. So I slowed things down, not to punish you, but to preserve you. My beloved, you have judged your life based only on what you could see in the moment. But heaven does not see your story in fragments. I see the entire path ahead of you. I know which relationships would poison your peace. I know which environments would slowly destroy your confidence. I know which shortcuts would pull you away from your calling. And because I know these things, I sometimes say no when you desperately want yes, not because I stopped loving you, but because I love you enough to protect you from what your emotions cannot yet discern. There are tears you cried over closed doors that you will one day thank me for closing. There are people you chased who would have delayed your destiny. There are seasons of waiting that protected your spirit from collapsing under pressure you were not ready to carry. You could not understand it then, but slowly you are beginning to see it now. The betrayal revealed hidden truths. The delay exposed unhealthy attachments. The silence taught you how to depend on me instead of temporary comforts. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. And even the painful waiting carried purpose. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. Not your timing, my beloved, mine, because I see what you cannot. I know when your heart is truly prepared. I know when your spirit has grown strong enough to sustain the blessing instead of being destroyed by it. There were versions of you in the past that would have mishandled what is coming next. The insecure version of you would have depended too heavily on people. The fearful version of you would have sabotaged opportunities because of self-doubt. The emotionally wounded version of you would have accepted less than what I intended for your life. So I delayed certain things until healing began, until wisdom deepened, until discernment matured, until your soul became stronger through the very waiting you hated. And now, when you look back honestly, you can already see moments where my protection was hidden inside disappointment. You can see how some people leaving your life actually saved your peace. You can see how certain failures redirected your path toward something better. You can see how unanswered prayers protected you from outcomes that would have exhausted your spirit. At the time, it felt cruel. Now you are beginning to realize it was mercy. My child, there were nights you accused yourself unnecessarily. You thought maybe you failed because certain things did not happen when you expected. But not every delay is punishment. Sometimes delay is divine preparation. Sometimes waiting is evidence that heaven is carefully arranging details your human eyes cannot yet understand. Do not measure my faithfulness by temporary timing. Measure it by the fact that I never abandoned you through any season. I remained beside you through every disappointment. I carried you through every delay. And even when your faith became weak, my plans for you remained firm. Listen closely now. This next part matters deeply. The waiting season changed you more than you realize. It slowed you down long enough to see who truly belonged in your life. It exposed the difference between temporary comfort and real peace. It taught you how fragile human approval truly is. It forced you to stop depending entirely on external validation and start hearing my voice more clearly. Without the waiting, you would not have gained that wisdom. Without the silence, your discernment would still be immature. Without the heartbreak, you would still be chasing things that could never truly heal your spirit. You hated the process, but the process protected you. Comment Amen if you believe God protected you even when you did not understand. My beloved child, there are still some things you do not fully know yet. Some answers are only now beginning to reveal themselves. Some hidden truths about your past disappointments will become clearer very soon. And when clarity finally comes, you will realize heaven was never working against you. Heaven was carefully rearranging your life, quietly, patiently, lovingly. Even now, I am still protecting you from things your eyes cannot see. There are conversations happening behind closed doors that I am shielding you from. There are traps you never noticed because my hand redirected your steps before danger reached you. There are spiritual battles you survived without even realizing they existed. You think you lost certain things, but some losses were rescues. You think some prayers were ignored, but some prayers were answered through removal instead of addition. And soon, my child, another truth is about to unfold before your eyes. Because the next part will reveal why certain people disappeared from your life and why their absence became necessary for your future healing.